Those of you who have been watching my show for a while will know that a few years ago I made a miter sled for my table saw. But I've never been satisfied with that video. I think that I didn't do a very good job explaining how to use a miter sled, and I think I overcomplicated the process of building one. So this past week I decided to make a new sled because, well, I've needed one for the past year for my new saw, and I just slapped together this one and it worked out perfectly. And it was so easy to make that I found myself wondering, why didn't I shoot a video of this? So what did I do? I made a second one. So I've got two of these, and I shot a video of this one. This way to the sled video. I'm using 3/4 inch plywood for the base and 1/4 inch plywood for the runners. I'm sanding the edges of this plywood until I get a perfect fit. I've cut that runner into 2 pieces, and I'm putting a stack of pennies in these miter slots just so that it raises it up above the surface of my table saw just a little bit. With a little bit of glue on these runners, I'll just set them down on those pennies. And this will hold it down while the glue dries. I've got 2 strips of plywood that I'm going to glue together. Alright, that glue is partially dried, but it's dry enough that I can take this out and put some screws in these tracks. These are 1/2 inch screws I'm driving in. And now I can try it out and see if it works. Yeah, it slides really nicely. And cut about halfway through the board. I've got a 45-degree angle triangle that I'm just going to line up against the blade with the sled in, and then just draw a line. Now I could square up this strip and cut it down to 2.5 inches wide. I'm gonna glue up one of these strips. I don't need to put glue all the way on this end because it's gonna get cut off. And I'm gonna flip it over and line it up on that line I drew. I'm getting it as close as I can to that mark, but if it's not 100% exact, it's okay. I'm just gonna let that dry somewhat. I don't need it to dry all the way, just so it doesn't move and I can put some screws in it from the other side. Now I'll raise my blade back up, all the way up, so I can cut through this fence. I can grab my other fence and I'll make my first cut. I've got a framing square and I'm going to line this all up with this fence. So I'm not concerned that it matches here as much as the 90-degree angle must be perfect. Finally, I've taken a 2x4 and just cut it down to fit this space, rounded it over just to give it a comfortable fit. This will also act as a blade guard, so when the blade comes through, it'll kind of embed in there. A little paste wax will keep this sliding smoothly. Now the beauty of a miter sled is that you'll be able to get perfect picture frame corners every time. And it doesn't really matter if either of these fences isn't exactly 45 degrees to the blade. As long as this is an exact 90-degree angle, if you cut one board on this fence and then its mating piece on this fence, both of those will add up to 90 degrees and have a perfect fit. Thanks for watching. You really should consider making a miter sled. It simplifies all of your 45-degree angle needs. But wait, I've got a second film this week, and it's a real artsy one. You know it's an artsy film because it's in black and white. Anyways, it shows the miter sled in operation, making a picture frame, so click on this link right here. See you later.